Well, good afternoon. It's game week, so exciting for that this weekend. It'll be fun. It's 3:31. We'll call the August 31st FARGODOME Authority meeting to order. Before we get to number one, any additions or revisions to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
First by Mike, second by Rick. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. On to item number one, approval of the July 27th minutes.
Move to approve.
First by Rick.
Second.
By Troy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Any old business? Okay, we'll go to number three, new business. Mr. Sobel.
All right, we'll start with the financials on page 3. As always, the month is on the left-hand side of the page, the year-to-date's on the right, so this is for July of 2021. So in July, we had 8 event days with just about 9,800 people in attendance, so about 1,700 above budget on that. And we had total event income of $89,000 compared to a budget of $63,000, and we had other income of $1,870,000 compared to a budget of $125,000. We did have expenses were a little bit above budget, about $4,600 above budget, with expenses of just over $458,000 compared to $453,500. So we had a net surplus for the month of July, $1,500,000 compared to a budgeted deficit of just over $265,500, so about $1.7 million above budget. On the event side, amateur sports, it was USA Wrestling, had good attendance. I think almost a record of attendance of wrestlers, but they didn't know what was going to be qualifying, so they allowed more people to register, but we also had good attendance from the parents as well, the spectators. So we were about $30,000 above budget on that with the ancillary revenue on that.
So we'll throw that one out for the next budget season.
You will not see us increase it by $30,000,
right.
no. And then obviously in the other income, that's where it all comes in with recognizing $1,765,000, actually $1,666,000 of the Shutter Venues grant. So that's what that big ad number is there. And on the expense side, operations was above budget, about $11,000, but it was an extremely hot month, so we used a lot of steam and we used a lot of electricity during USA Wrestling, running both our big chillers just to kind of keep up with the heat and the humidity and everything. So unfortunately, we can't really control that, what's going on. Any questions on the month of July? Based on that, then the highlights, we already talked about USA Wrestling, so that leaves us through the month of July, so 7 months, about $1.2 million above budget. We have a surplus of $942,000 compared to a budgeted deficit of $283,000 at this time. Questions? Okay.
No, thank you.
Mr. Chair, move to approve the financial statements for July.
The motion by Rick. Second by Mike. Roll call.
David?
Aye.
Troy?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Blake?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Rick?
Thank you.
All right, moving on, page 11 then. Since our last meeting, we talked a little bit about it at finance, but we had Guns N' Roses. Right around 10,000 people or so in the buildings. Pretty successful considering the amount of people. It was good to have a concert back. It was a a pretty good test event for all of our staff and all of our third contract labor, stagehand, security that come in for that, to kind of shake the rust off a little bit and just remember what we're supposed to do here. But worked out well. Good night, good reviews, as I mentioned before, on the backstage areas. It was a Wednesday night, so it was a pretty well-behaved crowd. But good per caps for food and beverage and good per caps for merch. Other than that, there were some parking lot activities with Budweiser, DS Beverages doing some Clydesdale activity in there for an event they had at the Air Museum, and then some businesses will start to use our parking lots for some corporate events prior to FM Redhawks games, and then going to those. Any questions on past events? All right, moving forward then, as Blake commented earlier, we're in our game week. So I guess actually it's our 6th game week of this year. So we really should, be old hat. But with welcoming back a full house of people, expecting 17, 18, 19,000 people. We won't know until they all show up. But they got a lot of tickets out. So they play Albany, NDSU versus Albany this Saturday. Tailgating lots for reserved open at 9:30 for unreserved, with the doors at 1 and kickoff at 2:30. Looking forward to seeing what the new broadcast looks like on WDAY, and just seeing how the crowd reacts. Not being here for a while in full throat. Moving into next week then, as we've kind of said the last 3 or 4 months that the meeting room activity was still slow, but it's coming back. So we did have a few in August, but now we start to come back into some of our regular meeting room activities. So the NDSU College of Health Professionals is having their career fair and scholarship fair here Friday the 10th in the lobby and meeting rooms, which has been kind of an annual for the last many years. Obviously took last 2020 off. Then on Saturday, November 11th, we've got NDSU hosting Valparaiso, again with a 2:30 kick. And then we've actually got Sanford Health is doing a couple of flu vaccination blitzes on the 18th, Saturday the 18th, outside in the west parking lots, as well as Thursday the 30th of September in the lobby. But before that, then the week of the 20th is kind of busy here with the NDSU Engineering and Tech Expo. They'll move in on the 21st. They'll have their career fair throughout the arena floor on Wednesday the 22nd. Tear everything down, flip it over quick, because then the Sanford Fargo Marathon will be in here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, with their move from May to September for this year. So, back to some busy times here at FARGODOME. Any questions on upcoming events?
So Alaris has a fairly impressive concert schedule coming up. Did those promoters give us a shot at any of those that they got on their 21 calendar?
The Luke Holmes date is a postponement from 2020, and we were not allowed to have that show based on some country clearances on shows we were supposed to have in 2020 that didn't get shut down before, never was announced, and isn't going to reschedule. So it's the way the ball bounces on that one. And
That's right.
the other one is just how it goes sometimes. We can't win them all. And I believe they have Foreigner. That was something that we looked to have at Ribfest.
Okay. Thanks.
Anything else on that?
No. Any comments? Okay.
Hey Nancy, you might want to mute your mic. All right.
Okay.
If no other questions, that would conclude my report.
Thank you. Move on to 3B, committee reports.
All right. Building and Finance Committees met on 8/25. A couple of items there indicated in July financial reports. We just recently reviewed those and approved those. We'll move on to website report and redesign. There's a staff request to basically do a redesign of the current website. The current one was implemented in January of 2013. The technology is outdated. They did send out the staff sent out an RFQ, received 14 responses back. Staff narrowed that down to staff, including a couple of people from the city, as well as city information systems and communications personnel. Narrowed that down to 2. The winning candidate, or the recommended candidate, was Carbon House. Carbon House's base bid was $24,000 plus total add-ons for a total of $40,000, as well as $750 per month for hosting and support. This includes a couple of modules that were desired by staff. The recommendation from staff is to go with Carbondale or Carbon House, and that number is basically the total of $40,000 plus the hosting and support. That amount was not included in the 21 budget, but we felt that the Building and Finance Committees both felt that was an appropriate time to go forward with that project. The recommendation was to go ahead with the $40,000 investment in the website. Any questions on that from anybody?
Yeah, very much industry expert in venue websites. So.
Okay. Next item on Building and Finance Committee agenda was project updates. Received updates from Rob. The dressing room and catering room remodel is basically done. There's still some issues with some wall coverings in the catering room, and those will be replaced in the next month. Rob did share with the committees that very good feedback from the Guns N' Roses concert as far as the use and the condition of those rooms. The canopy project is basically complete and came in slightly under budget. And then there's also a capital budget request in place. The FARGODOME's cooling tower, one of 5 cells, the gearboxes is no longer working appropriately. The project should be paid out of the capital budget. Rob made a following recommendation for reallocation request, reallocating $10,000 from FD 2111 budget unallocated and $10,000 from the FD 2116 canopy project, the FD 2117 cooling tower gearbox project. That motion was made and also carried. That's the end of the project pieces. Escrow, we did not receive a report on the escrow balance. I'm not sure if you've received anything since
The performance report was posted, and that was 22% for the year. Balance sheet was not posted though, so I don't know the actual balance.
But 22% for the year, so that's actually up slightly.
Yes.
Because I
So
think
we
it
did make
last,
some money.
the month prior
20, I
to
think it was
21.
20 or 21, something
Yeah.
like that, yep. Great.
Not bad.
Right. That concludes Building and Finance report from me.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion from
Move to approve.
Rick. We don't need a second. Roll call, please.
David,
Yes.
Troy,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Blake,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Okay. Quick one. Any additional items? Nancy, anything?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Go Bison. We're adjourned.
Go Bison!